You ready? High five. Let's do this. You ready? Okay, you ready to talk about cars? Yeah? Do you like cars? Okay, what's your favorite car?
Race cars.
Race cars? Yeah, me too. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Outlawed Motors. I'm in Pittsburgh this week, which is why there was no episode yesterday, seeing my little nephew Anagnosti and my sister and her whole family. So since we're not around either the Mini or the 3.0, we're going to be talking about something that a few of you have been asking for, and it's all about money and cost, which until you guys asked me how much I was spending, I was kind of not keeping track of. This is going to be kind of like a running series throughout the rebuild so that you guys have a proper understanding of how much this stuff costs, because maybe you're not surprised, but it's not cheaper.
Look at the picture, we're on the wrong side.
Probably to no surprise, it's not economical to restore a car. You're probably better off just buying it if you really want to just go drive it. But for those of you who actually want to restore a car or rebuild it, that's what we're doing. It's not like we're trying to find the cheapest way to drive our dream cars. When I first picked up the car for $600, I thought I was going to probably spend maybe $5,000 to my ignorance, but I'm well past that, even at the point of just dismantling and sandblasting and just getting all the parts I need. I'm going to give you a rundown of them in categories and just a few things to think about while you are considering restoring a car, and some of the things that some of you probably already know, some of you have cautioned me about, but for those of you who haven't started restoration, this is for you. What are we going to talk about first, Anagnosti?
Tools.
That's right. So, air compressor was $400, engine hoist $250, the engine stand was $50, ratchets $100, breaker bars $50, pry bars $25, BMW manual was $100, spring compressor $70, and sockets were $130. Miscellaneous is probably around $450. Totaling up to about $1,430. Now, obviously those are tools I'll be able to repurpose, so you can't fairly just attribute that to the cost of one restoration, but it is pretty expensive. Are you cold? Do you want to go inside? It's okay, you can go inside.
I'm not cold.
You sure? He's cold. You're doing great. High five. If you remember, I didn't have a place to store the car at first. I had to put it in storage, and that costs money. $250 a month money. Calculate the 4 months that I was there, that's $1,000. Getting the car, picking up the car and picking up the donor car, moving the car from the storage to Surage's, it was about $530. So right there already, we are nearing $3,500, but my math is probably wrong. That hasn't even got to the parts that I've purchased up to this point. So you guys know already that I picked up the first E9 for $600, but I haven't told you how much I spent on the donor. And some of you are going to have a little bit of a jaw drop, but once I explain it, it will make a lot more sense. So the second E9, I paid $5,000 for. Now, you might assume that that is a lot of money to spend for a shell that I'm going to cut up. However, I got a perfect interior, perfect leather, perfect dash, perfect chrome, perfect bumpers, and a ton of sheet metal that came right from BMW Germany. A lot of those things I was going to have to spend anyway, so I would have been foolish not to buy it, because I would have spent far more buying every single one of those individual parts separately, especially the sheet metal. I probably saved from the donor roughly $10,000 to $15,000 if I had bought everything. And then also you have to factor the time of sourcing all those parts. There's obviously still a lot of costs to come. If we don't use the 3.0 engine that came with the car, then we have to factor in what motor we're going to be using, the transmission that's going to go along with either of them, because we're switching it to a manual, the exhausts, and everything else. There's going to be still a ton of extra costs that are going to be attributed. You okay? You cold? I know you're cold, I'm cold. When you factor my E9, the donor, all the parts that came with it, the tools, storage, transportation, I've probably spent about $7,500 to $8,000, and I'm probably missing a couple things there off the top of my head. Obviously, as a lot of you probably know already, that I'm learning firsthand, is restoration is a very expensive proposition, but I have no regrets because this is the way that I wanted to build my car. Once I am done the body work, I'll know that there's no rust and I'll know that's what's gone into it. If I spend $30,000 on a 3.0 CS tomorrow, it could look great on the outside. Who knows if there's just a ton of Bondo that's covering a bunch of dents or whatnot. So, you know, these cars, the only way to be sure is either you're buying a pristine, you know, a concourse car that has perfect records, or you know, and a lot of you are going to disagree with me, but I prefer that I build the car from the ground up, and I also get the satisfaction of knowing that I built the exact car that I wanted. And I didn't set out to save money on this car. I wanted to resurrect the 3.0, the first 3.0 that I have been able to be so close to, and it's my baby. I get to say that. I took the $600 car that was probably going to go to the wreckers and bring it back to the road. And for me, that was gratifying enough that it's totally going to be worth the cost. And I also get to share it with you guys, and we have a great experience, and yeah, I'm happy with it. As the series goes on, I'll keep you guys updated with the costs and everything that goes along with it. He's getting cold, so we should go inside. But thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. You think we did okay? Thanks to my co-host, Anagnosti. High five. Nice. Have a good night, guys. Oh, nice job, Anagnosti.